Hello there. Call me asparagus. Whoops. Refly, I'm so sorry to disappoint. I don't have any memes today. I'm sorry. I had my my ESL this morning. I showed up at to volunteer and they're like, "Oh, so just so you know, you're teaching today." Great. Absolutely zero preparation. They just give me the lesson plan. They're like, "Here, good luck. There you go. Teach the students." So that's what happened this morning. Hey, but good news. My supervisor said she might be able to back pay me for today because I have my certification now. So I could have gotten paid today. Who knows? Oh my gosh, we're no longer unemployed. Yay, yay me. I'm not unemployed anymore. Woo! I just want to give myself a pat on the back for that. You know, unemployment has been fun. It's been nice to have a little break. But you know what? It's time to get back out there. 2025, we've been marinating. We've just been not ready to get back out there. But now we're gonna get back out there.
Life is Roblox.
Life is Roblox. Okay, thank you. Yes, try and make some up for me. Sorry that you have to take the burden, Refly. But yeah, how you guys doing today? Yoga stream, obviously. Okay, wait, look what's behind me. Wait, it's over here. What do you think this is? Ooh, what is it? It is my brick that I made. Hi, Beef. Look, it's my brick, my mycelium brick. You want a piece of cake? You guys want some cake? It's yummy. It actually doesn't really have a smell, but if you touch it, it's very soft. It's very, very soft. It's like velvety almost. It's so magical. So you might see there's a little bit of yellowness around. That's fine. That's called mycelium piss. Sorry, there's no other nice word for it. That's just what it is. So, yep, it is what it is. It happens when the mycelium gets a little bit stressed out, or like when it dries out, for example. Yeah, it looks like breach. It doesn't it? That's actually a great description. Oh, I almost dropped it. Don't drop it. So I put this in my dehydrated for 48 hours. So it is nice and dry. Yeah, cake time, Dom. Woo! Let's have some cake. I'll cut it up. We'll distribute to everyone. It's a nice reishi mycelium. But anyway, it's pretty sturdy. It's actually, so I can touch it with my hands now that it's dry. If it's not dry, don't touch it with your hands because you'll contaminate it. But there's not really any risk of contamination at this point because it's all dry. But yeah. I feel like if you cut into it, you might want to have gloves because there'll be like spores that go everywhere potentially. Well, even then, but it's so soft on the outside. When I tell you, yeah, it kind of smells, it doesn't even smell mushroomy. It just smells like savory. It's like a light savory scent to it. Like a bread. It kind of smells like bread in a way. But anyway, I'm gonna mail this puppy in so I can have my contribution to the temple. Beef wants cake. Oh, sorry, I made you jealous. I guess you get a pork bow instead. That's not cake, but it's close enough, right? So today I figured I would like to. So I had kind of a stressful morning this morning. So I think I'm first gonna do a quick yoga reset. So I invite you to also do some stretching if you want. Do some movement. You don't have to follow me, obviously, but I wanted to do a little bit of movement. We're gonna play one song, do some movement, and then after the song is over, here, I'm gonna type in the chat for people who come in because I won't be talking during it. I'll just be flowing through my yoga. Sorry, Toby's in the way of my screen, so I'm trying to type. Hi, sweetie. You would, but you just sat down to eat your tacos, so be right back. Ooh, enjoy your tacos. That sounds delightful. Okay, and I wanted to play for you guys. I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna be playing a song that I've been obsessed with these past few days. And while the song's going, we'll do our yoga, and then when the song's over, then we will yap and then do some reading. Sound good? Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna turn my mic off so you don't hear me breathing really heavily. Oh yeah, we're summoning something, all right. Woo, okay. Well, that was fun. Now I'm all sweaty. Whee! Anyway, that song is my obsession these days, so it's fun. Gotta get the body all warm so we can do some nice reading, right? Whew. It doesn't help that the sun is shining directly on me. You know, that doesn't help, but it's fun to flow with the song. I may not be the most graceful person in the world, but sometimes I feel like yoga is kind of like dancing in a way. Do you guys like dancing? I like dancing. Yeah, I like dancing usually. Although I usually have to be not sober in order to have the confidence to do like actual dancing. I haven't been dancing in a really long time actually. Like at a club or something. Sometimes I like going, you know what, I've actually, like the older I've gotten, I've realized like I don't really enjoy going to clubs because I don't want to start dancing at like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Like that's too late. If there was a club that was open at like noon or 11 a.m., then maybe I'd go. Actually, I think there is a club here in Salt Lake that's open at that time. So maybe I'll go to that. It's a new age club, obviously, so. That's called Pilates. Okay, yeah, true. That's called Pilates, exactly. No, it's actually like it's like a sober dance space, no shoes, no talking, no touching allowed, and you just kind of vibe to like what I'm assuming is getting like really new age music. And I don't know, I'm gonna try it out one time, I think. But yeah, Pilates, I have never done that before actually. I've heard it's really good for your core though, right? So Toby's gonna knock down the, yeah, no, she's careful, don't worry, she's careful, she won't knock it over. So far, she's never knocked anything over from the banister, although, knock on wood, we're gonna hope that doesn't happen. Anyways, do you guys like that song? That song that I played earlier is called, here, let me find it, it's called Inside by Skin Shape. So fucking good. Listen, like the entire Life and Love album, like, bro, probably one of the best albums of all time, according to me. According to me, it's like one of the best albums of all time. Like the whole thing. Do you guys have any albums like that? What's your album where it's like from start to finish, it's just like an absolute masterpiece. It just like, it all ties together and it's like a journey from start to finish. Oh, so good. I'm not like a huge music connoisseur, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm not at the point where I get like a record player or anything. My friend has a record player though, which is awesome. The music might be a little bit too loud. I'm gonna turn the music down. I'm actually gonna start the music over, so sorry for those who've heard the same music 20 million times. This is my go-to playlist. I just like play it over and over. It's the psychedelic music for cozy time. No copyright. Yeah, this one. It's my go-to. Like, this is the best one I've found so far, besides Dom's music, obviously. But this is the best one I've found so far that's actually tolerable and not like, meh, you know what I mean? Because like other playlists on YouTube, they'll say they're no copyright, and then they'll fucking come back and copyright. And it's like, yeah, you lied. You lied to me. Liar. You liar. Dom says Close to the Edge by Yes. Oh my God, okay, I'm writing this down. Dom, I trust you to know music that I will like, so I'm writing this. I'm writing this down. close to the edge. I will be listening. And then anyways, I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. Hopefully we're gonna finish our book today. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, I think we've sufficiently cooled down by this point. I was sweating earlier. You overlook how much yoga really heats up your body. Oh, by the way, I went to that basketball game last night. Woo, sports. Yeah, sports. I love sports. The Jazz won. Utah Jazz. Yeah, they went into overtime, which means they tied in the fourth quarter, and then they had an additional 5 minutes. I was kind of annoyed at that point. I was like, bro, I just want to go home. But at least they won, so there's that. But that's another case of like people who really, they've spent their entire lives working towards something and really honed in their skill. You can see, I mean, these players they're literally in a flow state when they're playing. You think of flow state as something like new agey or like yoga-y or like meditation. No. Flow state is basically when you just hone in, you're like locked in. It just basically locked in. So they lock the fuck in. It's interesting to see how the players, especially when they're doing the free throws, like they'll do the same pattern over and over. So like the player number 3, who's really good at scoring, by the way, he would like take the basketball and spin it in his hand, and then dribble it a few times, and then take a big deep breath, and then he'd do it. It was like a reset. It's so interesting to see. I think it is. He's neurologically resetting his system so he can perfectly do the basket. Why is it, bruh? Refly? Have you perhaps seen basketball before? No, okay, so Refly, the basket, so like the rope thing that dangles from the basket, that's a basket. I'm not trying to sound condescending when I say that, although it does sound very condescending when I say it like that. Sorry, I don't mean to be, yeah, with a hole in the bottom. You could still have a basket with a hole in the bottom, I think. I mean, according to Americans, you can. I don't know. But yeah, I guess you're thinking of like basket weaving, like a basket you go to the farmer's market and like buy produce, that kind of basket, right? Yeah, that's hoop. Yeah, we call it a hoop too. I guess because the hoop has like similar pattern, like it's a similar pattern to a basket, so that's why. Oh, Dom knows the lore. So the lore is that it started with peach baskets. Okay, now that's interesting. That's cool. Dom, basketball was invented in America, right? I need to check the lore on that. But anyway, my dad absolutely loves basketball. It's like his thing. He gets so happy. He's not really that happy usually. I don't know, he just doesn't express emotion a lot of the time. And so, but when we go to basketball games, it's suddenly like he just comes out. He comes out of his shell. He's like booing people. He's like yelling. He's like smiling and cheering, and it's fun to see him in that state. So that's why we all love to go to basketball with him. Dom says, some say the Mayans played a similar game. Ooh, maybe we stole it then. Stolen. Well, it wouldn't be the first thing we stolen. Definitely wouldn't be the first. I would not be surprised. Full shade, by the way. Full shade to Americans. And when I say Americans, I do not mean Native Americans. I mean the Europeans that came. Europeans. How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, shall we start reading? We left off at the croquet game. So we finished the croquet game. The cat was about to be executed, but he disappeared just in time. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down just slightly more. There we go. That's probably better. I mean, there's a ball in some place to throw it at. Yeah, as long as you have those two things. Did you guys ever play basketball when you were a kid? I was on the basketball team for a while, and then just as a kid, I would play games like Pig. Do you guys know about games like Pig and Horse? Those are fun. When you do different tricks, you know, you try and get your friends to replicate it, and if they can't replicate it, then they get a letter. Dom says, yeah, I was on the lowest team. Wait, there were high and low teams? Bruh. There was a hierarchy? Oh dear. And then Reflex said, I wanted to play it, but because of my feet, it would hurt to play. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry. You had a problem with your feet? There were like 10 teams. Okay, wow. So they had to organize them somehow, I guess. And you were on the lowest. RIP. That's okay. Here, I'm gonna look that up briefly. That's interesting. I haven't heard that. Oh, interesting. A high arch. So, yeah, that would hurt. So difficulties with stability too. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's interesting. I'm looking at a picture of the footprint of people who have that, and the arch itself is like really tiny. It's really narrow. That's interesting. So only support in the heel and toe area. Oh, it was mandatory, Dom? Oh, okay. Yeah, I hate mandatory sports, honestly. In my high school, it was mandatory to either do the gym or do a sport of some kind. And so because I hated exercising so much, I chose to be on the golf team. I was like, yes, this is a great option. Because all you have to do with golf is just freaking hit a ball. And, well, you have to carry your clubs, I guess. So there's that. But that's it. So like the minimal physical effort required. I did social dance too, but I was always picked last because I think people were intimidated by me, so that was traumatic. And also I was like way too freaking heavy. Oh God, I felt so bad. There was this one time I was dancing with somebody and he had to bend me. He had to like dip me. And I'm too heavy, like he couldn't do it. He only did me like part way because he just absolutely couldn't. My fat ass. No, not fat, just large. My large ass. Golf in school. Yeah, golf team. We had a golf team. Yeah, so we had to, I was required to go to one competition, which I hated. I tried to get out of it. I tried to like call in sick or whatever, but it was required for me to stay on the golf team and to pass. So I was like, great. Luckily there was no requirement of like how good I had to do. It was just like I had to participate. So yeah, it was rough. It was rough. You should feel bad for me. No, just kidding. I was incredibly lazy in high school. So yeah, but anyway, I get the pain of mandatory sports. What place did you end up? Oh, I don't even remember. I'm not, probably like last place, honestly. No, honestly, like probably. I wasn't even keeping score really. I mean, I think I submitted my score event, like, so you would keep score on your own card, and then I think you submitted it. Yeah, I don't know. Golf is a very relaxing sport. You're just kind of like, should have asked if mini golf is allowed. Yeah, mini golf is pretty challenging actually, because putting is, I would say, is the most difficult part of golf. It's really fun to drive the ball, you know, hit that first ball, you know, with your giant club or whatever. But once you get it on the green, putting is difficult. It's actually my least favorite part. I really like just hitting it. I like, oh yeah, I should go to a driving range. I should go to Top Golf. Have you guys heard of Top Golf? You've seen the videos of people just absolutely, I gotta show you guys this. Top Golf fail compilation. Look at this. Okay, one sec. There's a reason why there's nets here. Yep, there's a reason why there's nets right there. Oh my God, ow. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh my God. It's just like a constant, whenever I think of Top Golf, that's what I think of, is people swinging way too hard. Because you think you have to swing hard, right? And if you swing too hard, you're gonna, yeah, a lot of it's drunk people for sure. So that's what people go to Top Golf for. You go to drink and drive the golf ball. Not drinking, not that other kind of drinking and driving. Drinking and driving the golf ball. And arguably, maybe people shouldn't do that. Drink and drive. Yeah, literally. The next game on stream, Tiger Woods. Yeah. I think I like playing Wii Golf. You guys played Wii Golf before? That's fun. I like that one. I'm pretty good at it, to be honest. Not to brag or anything. Ribbit King is the game. Is that another golf game? Oh boy. Okay. All right. Enough yapping. It's time to get to our book. So we're at chapter 9. Chapter 9, The Mock Turtle's Story. Okay. So. You can't think how glad I am to see you again, you dear old thing, said the Duchess, as she tucked her arm affectionately into Alice's as they walked off together. Alice was very glad to find her in such a pleasant temper, and thought to herself that perhaps it was only the pepper that had made her so savage when they met in the kitchen. When I'm a Duchess, she said to herself, not in a very hopeful tone, though, I won't have any pepper in my kitchen at all. Soup does very well without. Maybe it's always pepper that makes people hot-tempered, she went on, very much pleased at having found out a new kind of rule. And vinegar that makes them sour, and chamomile that makes them bitter, and barley sugar and such things that make children sweet-tempered. I only wish people knew that. Then they wouldn't be so stingy about it, you know. Well, actually, according to traditional Chinese medicine, she's kind of correct. If you eat too much spicy food, you're going to have too much fire, you know, like fire element, which can make you angry, easily angry. So Alice is correct. The emotions displayed by the frog alone are worth the play. Sounds good. She had quite forgotten the Duchess by this time, and was a little startled when she heard her voice close to her ear. You're thinking about something, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't tell you just now what the moral of that is, but I shall remember it in a bit. Perhaps it hasn't one, Alice ventured to remark. Tut tut, child, said the Duchess. Everything's got a moral, if only you can find it. And she squeezed herself up closer to Alice's side as she spoke. Alice did not much like keeping so close to her. First, because the Duchess was very ugly. Bruh. And secondly, because she was exactly the right height to rest her chin upon Alice's shoulder, and it was an uncomfortably sharp chin. However, she did not like to be rude, so she bore it as well as she could. The game's going on rather better now, she said, by way of keeping up the conversation a little. 'Tis so, said the Duchess, and the moral of that is, oh, that makes the world go round. Oh, sorry, 'tis love. That makes the world go round. Somebody said, Alice whispered, that it's done by everybody minding their own business. Ah, well, it means much the same thing, said the Duchess, digging her sharp chin into Alice's shoulder. She added, and the moral of that is, take care of the sense, and the sounds will take care of themselves. How fond is she of finding morals in things, Alice thought to herself. I dare say you're wondering why I don't put my arm around your waist, the Duchess said after a pause. The reason is that I'm doubtful about the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try the experiment? He might bite, Alice cautiously replied, not feeling at all anxious to have the experiment tried. Very true, said the Duchess. Flamingos and mustard both bite, and the moral of that is, birds of a feather flock together. Oh, was it mustard that they were, like mustard gas that was going on in the kitchen? Jesus. Only mustard isn't a bird, Alice remarked. Right, as usual, said the Duchess. What a clear way you have of putting things. It's a mineral, I think, said Alice. Of course it is, said the Duchess, who seemed ready to agree to everything that Alice said. There's a large mustard mine near here, and the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours. Oh, I know, exclaimed Alice, who had not attended to this last remark. It's a vegetable. It doesn't look like one, but it is. I quite agree with you, said the Duchess. Oh, the Duchess is such a people pleaser. She's like, whatever you say, you're right. And the moral of that is, be what you would seem to be. Or, if you'd like it put more simply, never imagine yourself not to be otherwise than what it might appear to others, that what you were or might have been was not otherwise than what you had... What the frick is she saying? Than what you would have been appeared to them to be otherwise. I think I should understand that better, said Alice very politely, if I had written it down, but I can't quite follow it as you say it. Girl, me neither. I don't even know what that was. That was very long. There's nothing to what I could say if I chose, the Duchess replied in a pleased tone. Pray don't trouble yourself to say it any longer than that, said Alice. Oh, don't talk trouble, said the Duchess. I make you a present of everything I've said as of yet. A cheap sort of present, thought Alice. I'm glad they don't give birthday presents like that. But she did not venture to say it out loud. Thinking again? The Duchess asked, with another dig of her sharp little chin. I've a right to think, said Alice sharply. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear me slurp. For she was beginning to feel a little worried. Just about as much right, said the Duchess, as pigs have to fly, and them... But here, to Alice's great surprise, the Duchess's voice died away, even in the middle of her favorite word, moral. And the arm that was linked to hers began to tremble. Alice looked up, and there stood the Queen in front of them, with her arms folded, frowning like a thunderstorm. A fine day, Your Majesty, the Duchess began in a low, weak voice. Now, I give you fair warning, shouted the queen, stamping on the ground as she spoke. Either you or your head must be off, and that in about half no time. Take your choice. The Duchess took her choice and was gone in a moment. Let's go on with the game, the queen said to Alice, and Alice was too much frightened to say a word, but slowly followed her back to the croquet ground. The other guests had taken advantage of the queen's absence and were resting in the shade. However, the moment they saw her, they hurried back to the game, the queen merely remarking that a moment's delay would cost them their lives. All the time they were playing, the queen never left off quarreling with the other players and shouting, "Off with his head," or "Off with her head." Those whom she sentenced were taken in custody by the soldiers, who, of course, had to leave off being archers to do this, so that by the end of the half an hour or so, there were no archers left, and all the players, except the king, the queen, and Alice, were in custody and under sentence of execution. She's going to have nobody left in her court if she kills everybody. Then the queen left off, quite out of breath, and said to Alice, "Have you seen the mock turtle yet?" "No," said Alice. "I don't even know what a mock turtle is." "It's the thing mock turtle soup is made of," said the queen. "I never saw one or heard of one," said Alice. "Come on then," said the queen, "and he shall tell you his history." And they walked off together. As they walked off together, Alice heard the king say in a low voice to the company generally, "You are all pardoned. Come, that's a good thing," she said to herself, for she had felt quite unhappy at the number of executions the queen had ordered. They very soon came upon a griffin lying fast asleep in the sun. If you don't know what a griffin is, look at the picture. Oh, there must be a picture. Dang it, I missed out. "Up, lazy thing," said the queen, "and take this young lady to see the mock turtle and to hear his history. I must go back and after some executions I have ordered." And she walked off, leaving Alice alone with the griffin. Alice did not quite like the look of the creature, but on the whole she thought it would be quite as safe to stay with it as to go after that savage queen, so she waited. The griffin sat up and rubbed its eyes. Then it watched the queen till she was out of sight. Then it chuckled. "What fun," said the griffin, half to itself, half to Alice. "What is the fun?" said Alice. "Why, she," said the griffin. "It's all her fancy, that. They never executes nobody, you know. Come on." "Everybody says 'come on' here," thought Alice, as she went slowly after it. "I never was so ordered about in all my life. Never." They had not gone far before they saw the mock turtle in the distance, sitting sad and lonely on a little ledge of rock, and as they came nearer, Alice could hear him sighing as if his heart would break. She pitied him deeply. "What is his sorrow?" she asked the griffin, and the griffin answered, very nearly in the same words as before. "It's all his fancy, that. He hasn't got no sorrow, you know. Come on." So they went up to the mock turtle, who looked at them with large eyes full of tears, but said nothing. "This here young lady," said the griffin, "she wants to know your history, she do." "I'll tell it her," said the mock turtle in a deep, hollow tone. "Sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word till I've finished." So they sat down, and nobody spoke for some minutes. Alice thought to herself, "I don't see how he can ever finish if he doesn't begin." But she waited patiently. "Once," said the mock turtle at last, with a deep sigh, "I was a real turtle." These words were followed by a very long silence, broken only by an occasional exclamation from the griffin and the constant heavy sobbing of the mock turtle. Alice was very nearly getting up and saying, "Thank you, sir, for your interesting story," but she could not help thinking there must be more to come, so she sat still and said nothing. Hello, Orange. Alice is faring, she's doing okay. She avoided execution, which is good. She's currently hearing the tale from the mock turtle, but he's telling it very slowly. So we've followed the griffin to see the mock turtle, and I think the queen might have sent her there as a punishment. That's what I'm guessing. It is all very strange, and we're having a delightful and strange time. So welcome. Hi, Bunny. Hello. Welcome, my friends. How you guys doing? You having a good Tuesday? I'm having a good Tuesday. Here, let me see how much left of this chapter. Okay, there's only a few more paragraphs, and then we'll start yapping. Sound good? When we were little, the mock turtle went on at last, more calmly, though still sobbing a little now and then. We went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise. Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one? Alice asked. We called him Tortoise because he taught us, said the mock turtle angrily. Really, you are very dull. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question, added the griffin, and then they both sat silent and looked at poor Alice, who felt ready to sink into the earth. At last, the griffin said to the mock turtle, Drive on, old fellow, don't be all day about it. And then he went on in these words. Yes, we went to school in the sea, though you mayn't believe it. I never said I didn't, interrupted Alice. You did, said the mock turtle. Hold your tongue, added the griffin, before Alice could speak again. The mock turtle went on. We had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day. I've been to a day school too, said Alice. You needn't be so proud as all that. You know, Alice will take any opportunity to inject herself into any conversation, like her own ego. She needs to be heard. She needs to be understood. And if she doesn't have a single moment where her ego is not present, then she's like, how can I make this about me? And honestly, I relate. Okay. You couldn't have wanted it much, living at the bottom of the sea. Oh, sorry. Then yours wasn't a really good school, said the mock turtle in a tone of great relief. Now at ours they had, at the end of the bill, French, music, and washing. Extra. You couldn't have wanted it much, said Alice, living at the bottom of the sea. I couldn't afford to learn it, said the mock turtle with a sigh. I only took the regular course. What was that? Inquired Alice. A reeling and writhing, of course, to begin with, the mock turtle replied, and then the different branches of arithmetic. Ambition, distraction, uglification, and derision. Yes. Me, when I think about math, I'm like, oh yes, there's a, bruh. I've never heard of uglification, Alice ventured to say. What is it? The griffin lifted up both of its paws in surprise. What? Never heard of uglifying, it exclaimed. You know what to beautify is, I suppose. Yes, said Alice doubtfully. It means to make anything prettier? Well then, the griffin went on, if you don't know what uglify is, you are a simpleton. So I'm saying mock turtle, so M-O-C-K, but the thing is, I don't even know what that means. There's been absolutely zero explanation, Orange. I don't know. Let me see. What is a mock turtle? Oops. Not a mock turtleneck. Stop auto-completing my words, Google. Okay, oh, its name was taken, oh, here we go. Its name was taken from a dish that was popular in the Victorian period, mock turtle soup. Okay, interesting. Oh, look, oh, I love this. There's images. So that's what the mock turtle looks like. Oh dear. So the mock turtle, it looks like it has a cow head and feet. That is interesting. Or maybe a rat. Does that look like a rat to you or a cow? And here's the griffin right here with Alice. They're listening to the terrible tale. The griffin's just sobbing the whole time. So cute. Pretend turtle. Maybe it's a tortoise. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what they meant. Pretend turtle. You ate mockfish growing up. Oh. So the mock turtle soup originated in England. The soup, which consisted of calf heads, brains, tails, and trotters for expensive turtle. I see. So it wasn't actual fish. That makes sense. That's very creative that the author came up with that. That's cool. Was it good? Did you like it? I mean, like one of my favorite foods actually, feijoada, like Brazilian black bean stew, has like pig hooves, snout, pig ears. You know, some of that stuff is like the good stuff, you know what I mean? It has a lot of flavor. Orange says, I love them with ketchup. That's nice. Ketchup makes a lot of things taste really good, to be fair. I remember my mom used to make fried eggplant, and then I would eat it with ketchup, and it was really good. Okay, just a few more lines. Alice did not feel encouraged to ask any more questions about it, so she turned to the mock turtle and said, What else had you to learn? Well, there was mystery, the mock turtle replied. Counting off the subjects on his flappers. Mystery, ancient and modern, with seaography, then drawing. The drawing master was an old conger eel that used to come once a week. He taught us drawing, stretching, and fainting in coils. What was that like? Said Alice. Well, I can't show it you myself, the mock turtle said. I'm too stiff, and the griffin never learnt it. Hadn't time, said the griffin. I went to the classics master, though. He was an old crab, he was. I never went to him, said the mock turtle, with a sigh. He taught laughing and grief, they used to say. So he did, said the griffin, sighing in his turn, and both creatures hid their faces in their paws. And how many hours a day did you do lessons? Said Alice, in a hurry to change the subject. 10 hours the first day, said the mock turtle, 9 the next, and so on. What a curious plan, exclaimed Alice. That's the reason why they're called lessons, the griffin remarked, because they lessen from day to day. Yes, logic. So logical and reasonable. Of course it was, said the mock turtle. Oh, this was quite a new idea to Alice, and she thought it over a little before she made her next remark. Then the 11th day must have been a holiday? Of course it was, said the mock turtle. And how did you manage on the 12th? Alice went on eagerly. That's enough about lessons, the griffin interrupted in a very decided tone. Tell her something about the games now. Bruh. She's like, tell me more. And they're like, no, too many questions. It very much seems like every single character is just making things up as they go along the entire time. Like, Alice is genuinely inquiring things, and they are just saying whatever comes to mind at the first moment. That's what makes me think it's like a dream that she's entered. Like a dreamlike state, you know? I feel the same way in dreams. That's the way characters talk to me in dreams. Okay, my back is getting kind of stiff, so I'm gonna do, oh yeah, that feels good. Okay, we're gonna do, what's this one called? It's called, wait, let me think. It's called, what's it called? I forget. It's called, I don't know. Anyway, you raise your head and your arms and your legs. So you ready? Go. It's kind of fun to stretch your back out in a different way. When you first do this pose, you want to like raise your head up like this, but actually it's better to just keep it flat like this, pointed down. So you can do like multiple sessions of it. That's what I like to do to warm up. And then you grab your ankles. So I'm gonna grab my ankles. Oh, it's called bow. That's what it is. That's what this is. It's called bow. Yeah. And after doing bow, I usually like doing child's pose to stretch out my back in the other way. I don't know what you heard from my microphone, but my nose was pointed directly into it, so you're welcome. You get to hear the inner workings of my respiratory system. So fun. Let's see, what else should I do? Oh, I want to do Happy Baby. That one's good. Do Happy Baby. Yes. When in doubt, just go on your back and like raise your arms up, and then raise your feet up too. That feels really nice. Happy Baby pose is always a really fun pose. I never understood why people grabbed their big toe. It always felt kind of uncomfortable to me. I usually just like grabbing the outside like this. I feel like this position will very well prepare me to give birth. It's like, I feel like I'm giving birth right now. Oh, you're making pizza? Nice. What kind of toppings did you put on your pizza? I love pizza. I'm jealous. Yeah, stretching out my legs. So legs up the wall is one of my favorite poses. So at night, if you want to do a really great pose for sleep, just put your legs up like this against a wall. So just go against a wall and kind of get as close as you can to the wall and like swing your legs over like this and then rest your legs on it. And as the blood drains down, it helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system and helps calm you down, get you ready for sleep. Yeah. Okay, shall we do the next chapter? I think we're going to be able to finish today, excuse me. I'm thinking I'm gonna make those little dumplings. Do you guys remember when I made those dumplings? Butter chicken dumplings. I'm gonna make those perhaps on Thursday or maybe actually Friday. Because I'm also going to a Christmas party on Friday. So Orange is going to a work Christmas party, making 3 pepperoni, chicken, and veg. Ooh, honey soy butternut squash. Ooh. So those are the 3 different kinds. That sounds delightful. That's cool. You're making pizza from scratch. Takes skill to do that. I'll have mushrooms. Great choice. Cherry tomatoes and Italian herbs. Oh, now you're making me hungry. Damn. Sounds great. Okay. Shall we do the back breaking pose? Actually, no, the knee breaking pose, more like. Let's break our knees, shall we? Okay, ready? Oh, yes. It's so good. Oh my God. I love stretching. I'm just laying here. Somebody enters the stream, they're like, what is going on? They're like, what is happening here? I thought this was a reading and writing. So people get so confused because I mark these streams as reading and writing. People probably come in and were like, what? I didn't realize this is how people read in 2025. That's what somebody commented at one point. I thought it was funny. I think they were making fun of me. Here I am using my body for entertainment. The audacity. Okay, let us continue. Well, if you have assets, you might as well use them, right? That's my opinion, at least. Chapter 10. So we've got, let's see, we've got 12 chapters. So we got 3 chapters left. That was 2. 3. Okay. The Lobster Quadrille. That's the name of chapter 10. The Mock Turtle sighed deeply and drew the back of one flapper across his eyes. He looked at Alice and tried to speak, but for a minute or two, sobs choked his voice. Same as if he had a bone in his throat, said the Griffin, and it set to work shaking him and punching him in the back. At last, the Mock Turtle recovered his voice, and with tears running down his cheeks, he went on again. You may not have lived much under the sea, and perhaps you were never even introduced to a lobster. So you can have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is. No, indeed, said Alice. What sort of a dance is it? Why, said the Griffin, you first form a line along the seashore. 2 lines, cried the Mock Turtle. Seals, turtles, salmon, and so on. And then, when you've cleared all the jellyfish out of the way, that generally takes some time, interrupted the Griffin. I see now why that illustration was like the 2 animals on both sides. They're just like yapping back and forth to each other. Reflex said, reading in between yoga sessions. What's next? Texting and driving? Oh my gosh. Don't do that, you guys. Do not text and drive. If you want a quick ticket to death, do that. Anyways. Oren said, only 3 left in the whole book? You've done well. Thank you. Thank you. I know. It's been several hours of reading. Yeah, I thought this book was going to be a lot shorter than it has been. It's been fun. Sometimes you get kind of lost in the... You go down rabbit holes. You see what I did here? You go down rabbit holes where it's like, oh my God, what is happening? And then they pull you back out. And then you start going down another rabbit hole. And then you get pulled out. That's what the author does. Well, you start questioning the point of everything. Okay. Each with a lobster as a partner, cried the Griffin. Of course, the Mock Turtle said. Advance twice, set to partners. Change lobsters and retire in the same order, continued the Griffin. Then, you know, the Mock Turtle went on. You throw the lobsters, shouted the Griffin with a bound into the air. As far out to sea as you can. Swim after them, screamed the Griffin. Turn a somersault in the sea, cried the Mock Turtle. See, we're getting lost in the sauce right here. We're getting down at the bottom of the rabbit hole right here. Capering wildly about. Changing lobsters again, yelled the Griffin at the top of its voice. Back to land again, that's all the first figure, said the Mock Turtle, suddenly dropping his voice, and the 2 creatures, who had been jumping about like mad things all this time, sat down again very sadly and quietly, and looked at Alice. It must be a very pretty dance, said Alice timidly. Would you like to see a little of it? Said the Mock Turtle. Very much indeed, said Alice. Come, let's try the first figure, said the Mock Turtle to the Griffin. We can do without lobsters, you know. Which shall sing? Oh, You sing, said the Griffin. I've forgotten the words. So they began solemnly dancing round and round Alice, every now and then treading on her shoes when they passed too close, and waving their forepaws to mark the time, while the Mock Turtle sang this very slowly and sadly. Will you walk a little, so this is the song. Will you walk a little faster, said the whiting to us, said a whiting, whiting, said a whiting to a snail. I'm going to say whiting. No, it's one T, whiting. Said a whiting to a snail. There's a porpoise close behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Will you join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Won't you join the dance? You really have no notion of how delightful it will be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea. But the snail replied, too far, and gave a look askance. Said he thanked the whiting kindly, but would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not, would not join the dance. Would not, could not, would not, could not join the dance. What matters in how far we go? His scaly friend replied, there is another shore, you know, upon the other side. The further off from England, the nearer is to France. Then turn not pale, beloved snail, but come and join the dance. Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Will you join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Won't you join the dance? Imagine, I'm just imagining this book. So we finished the song. Because I go from teaching ESL, right? I feel like in order to understand a book like this, you require such a sophisticated knowledge of English. And even when you have a sophisticated knowledge of English, you still have like a very minuscule understanding of what is actually being said. It's very it's very obscure. It's kind of similar to how I feel about reading like Winnie the Pooh, for example. It's like, whoa. Oh, as to the whiting, said the Mock Turtle. You've seen them, of course. Yes, said Alice. I've often seen them at Din. She checked herself hastily. I don't know where Din may be, said the Mock Turtle, but if you've seen them so often, of course you don't know what they're like. I believe so, Alice replied thoughtfully. They have their tails in their mouths, and they're all over crumbs. That's a surreal meme by itself. Understanding Atlas Shrugged, rookie level. Understanding Alice in Wonderland, supreme master of the English language. No, literally, bro. I went from because my students have a difficult time because they're unable to read and write in their own language, and so teaching them to read and write in English is already like a massive hurdle, right? And so today I was trying not to get frustrated because we have students who come for years. They've been coming for years and no improvement. Like they can't read I, they can't read the, they can't read three letter words. And so I was having him circle like, okay, can you find all the, you know? And you have to kind of act things out, you know? So I wrote the on the board and I was like, okay, so if you see the, then you circle it, right? It literally individual, here's the problem too, refly, no, literally. Because they were thinking it was an L because it was an uppercase I, which is like, bro. I am so glad. Let me reiterate again how glad I am that I was given a formal education, because I don't even know how I would try and learn this stuff as an adult. It is impossibly challenging. It is challenging. it's not that adults don't have the capacity to learn. They do. They do. But it's just, I think we have so many calcified neural patterns, like neural pathways, that we are not open. We're not open-minded in our learning. And so that's why it's so much harder to learn things. So adults, what adults need is they need the right motivation. It's not about whether you're smart or not. It's about whether you're motivated to do it or not. And finding the right motivation for every student is sometimes kind of challenging, because it's so easy for people to get like, sorry, this is my long rant about teaching ESL. It's so easy for them to get into these patterns of, well, I just can't. I can't learn English. I can't do it. And once they start thinking that way, it's like to undo that is so challenging, because once you start to believe that you can't do something and you start reinforcing it over and over, like, see, I can't do it. You try something and you fail very quickly. I think as adults, we're easily it's so much easier for us to try something like once, and then if it doesn't confirm, like if it confirms our bias, then we're like, see, I can't do it. That's one of the criticisms I have of adult minds. It's not that we can't learn new things, it's that we don't want to. I think that's what it is. It's like we don't want to. We're like, no, I've learned how to survive this whole time. I don't need to learn anything else. You know? Our brain gets really good at telling ourselves like, well, we've made it this far. So that means we know things, you know? Because I survived for this long, I know things. And that's true, right? That's true. And we should be, appreciative of ourselves for getting us this far. But it does also get us into these dangerous thought patterns of being like unable to learn things and unable to be open-minded. It's a question of open-minded, and it's a question of confidence. You need the confidence, you need the open-mindedness. Anyway, that was my rant for today. Sorry. Anyway, well, let's keep going. Let's see. So he's asking, do you know what a whiting is? And Alice says, I believe so. Alice replied thoughtfully. They have their tails in their mouths, and they're all over crumbs. You're wrong about the crumbs, said the Mock Turtle. Crumbs would all wash off in the sea. But they have their tails in their mouths, and the reason is... Here the Mock Turtle yawned and shut his eyes. Tell her about the reason and all that, said the Griffin. He said to the Griffin. The reason is, said the Griffin, that they would go with the lobsters to the dance. So they got thrown out to sea. So they had to fall a long way. So they got their tails fast in their mouths. So they couldn't get them out again. That's all. Okay, great. Thank you for that explanation. That really helped me understand. No, it's like, this is like the opposite. This is like the absolute opposite of like everything I do in the ES, like, you know what I mean? Because you have to be very clear and precise in your language. It's the same every time. You can't get off with this stream of consciousness type communication. Oh boy. Thank you, said Alice. It's very interesting. I never knew so much about a whiting before. I can tell you more than that if you like, said the Griffin. Do you know why it's called a whiting? I never thought about it, said Alice. Why? Does the boots and the shoes, the Griffin replied very solemnly. Alice was thoroughly puzzled. Does the boots and the shoes? she repeated in a wondering tone. Why, what are your shoes done with? Said the Griffin. I mean, what makes them so shiny? Alice looked down at them and considered a little before she gave her answer. They're done with blacking, I think. Boots and shoes under the sea, the Griffin went on in a deep voice, are done with a whiting. Now you know. And what are they made of? Alice asked in a tone of great curiosity. Soles and eels, of course, the Griffin replied rather impatiently. Any shrimp could have told you that. If I'd been the whiting, said Alice, whose thoughts were still running on the song, I'd have said to the porpoise, keep back, please. We don't want you with us. They were obliged to have him with them, the Mock Turtle said. No wise fish would go anywhere without a purpose. Actually, you know what? I think that this is probably how non-English speakers feel when they listen to people speaking English. It's just constantly like new information being presented, and you're trying to keep up, and you're trying to, you're trying to follow what people are saying, and you're just the whole time like trying to clarify. I mean what I say, the Mock Turtle replied in offended. The thing is, I keep accidentally probably skipping lines and paragraphs, but will it actually matter at the end of the day? Like, it doesn't clarify anything if I miss one line. I guarantee you. It's just as confusing. In fact, it really helps us. Curate the vibe when I miss paragraphs while reading this. I'm sure it's what the author would have wanted anyway. I mean what I say, the Mock Turtle replied in an offended tone. And even if I repeat something, by the way, it's probably like you don't even know if I already said that or not. I certainly don't. And the Griffin added, come, let's hear of your adventures. I could tell you my adventures, beginning from this morning, said Alice, a little timidly, but it's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a different person then. Explain all that, said the Mock Turtle. No, the adventures first, said the Griffin in an impatient tone. Explanations take such a dreadful time. So Alice began telling them her adventures from the time when she first saw the white rabbit. She was a little nervous about it just at first. The two creatures got so close to her, one on each side, that they opened their eyes and mouths so very wide. But she gained courage as she went on. Her listeners were perfectly quiet till she got to the part about her repeating, "You are old, Father William," to the caterpillar, and the words all coming different. Then the Mock Turtle drew a long breath and said, "That's very curious." "It's all about as curious as can be," said the Griffin. It all came different, the Mock Turtle repeated thoughtfully. I should like to hear her try and repeat something now. Tell her to begin. He looked at the Griffin as if he thought some kind of authority over Alice. Stand up and repeat. "'Tis the voice of the sluggard," said the Griffin. How the creatures order one about, and make one repeat lessons, thought Alice. I might as well be at school at once. However, she got up and began to repeat it, but her head was so full of the lobster quadrille that she hardly knew what she was saying. Girl, me too. Girl, me too. And the words came very queer indeed. "'Tis the voice of the lobster, I heard him declare, you have baked me too brown, I must sugar my hair. As a duck with its eyelids, so he be with his nose, trims his belt and his buttons, and turns out his toes." Later editions continue as follows. "When the sands are all dry, he is gay as a lark, and he will talk in contemptuous tones of the shark. But when the tide rises and sharks are around, his voice has a timid and tremulous sound." "That's different from what I used to say when I was a child," said the Griffin. "Well, I never heard it before," said the Mock Turtle, "but it sounds uncommon nonsense." Alice said nothing. She had sat down with her face in her hands, wondering if anything would ever happen in a natural way again. I should like to have it explained, said the Mock Turtle. She can't explain it, said the Griffin hastily. Go on with the next verse. But about his toes, the Mock Turtle persisted. How could he turn them out with his nose, you know? It's the first position in dancing, Alice said, but was dreadfully puzzled by the whole thing and longed to change the subject. Go on with the next verse, the Griffin repeated impatiently. It begins, I passed by his garden. Alice did not dare to disobey, although she felt it would all come wrong, and when she went on in a trembling voice. I passed by his garden and marked with one eye how the owl and the panther were sharing a pie. Later editions continued as follows. The panther took pie crust and gravy and meat, while the owl had the dish as a share of his treat. When the pie was all finished, the owl, as a boon, was kindly permitted to pocket the spoon, while the panther received knife and fork with a growl and concluded the banquet. What is the use of repeating all that stuff? The Mock Turtle interrupted. If you don't explain it as you go on, it's by far the most confusing thing I've ever heard. Yes, I think you better leave off, said the Griffin. And Alice was only too glad to do so. Shall we try another figure of the lobster quadrille? The Griffin went on. Or would you like the Mock Turtle to sing you a song? Oh, sing a song, please, if the Mock Turtle would be so kind, Alice replied so eagerly that the Griffin said, in a rather offended tone, No accounting for tastes. Sing her turtle soup, will you, old fellow? The Mock Turtle sighed deeply and began, in a voice sometimes choked with sobs, to sing this. Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such daisies would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Yes, beautiful, and it just goes on, beautiful soup, like 10 times. Beautiful soup, who cares for fish, game, or any other dish? Who would not give all else for 2 pennyworth of only beautiful soup? Pennyworth only of beautiful soup. Beautiful soup, beautiful soup. And then it goes on like 10 times. Chorus again, cried the Griffin, and the Mock Turtle had just begun to repeat it when a cry of, the trial's beginning, was heard in the distance. Come on, cried the Griffin, and taking Alice by the hand, it hurried off, without waiting for the end of the song. What trial is it? Alice panted as she ran, but the Griffin only answered, come on, and ran the faster, while more and more faintly came, carried on the breeze that followed them, the melancholy words, soup of the evening, beautiful, beautiful soup. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, that was a chapter. That was a chapter. You know what? That was a chapter of all time, truly. Did we gain any plot information? Absolutely not. And I love that. Like none. Nothing at all. Delightful. Okay, now let's do some yoga, shall we? I want to do some malasanas. Let's do that. Yes, malasana. So you can do high malasana, so you can do like this, where it's still up high, or you can sink down. And I like to use my hands to catch myself, so you don't injure your hips. I always have the urge to sit down, but you want to kind of stand on your leg. Oh, this feels so good though. For stretching out my legs. When you first do this pose, it's a really awkward pose to put your body into. You'll be really resistant to it. And you gotta be careful not to injure yourself. So I'm gonna start with high first, and then we'll go down. Yes. And then I fall on my ass. So you really easily fall on your ass. And you just stand up. You gotta like shift your center of gravity away so you can hold yourself. But yeah. I hope everyone's having a delightful and relaxing Tuesday. I certainly am. I realize you can look down my shirt every time it hangs. Luckily, I'm wearing a bra, so it's fine. If I wasn't wearing a bra, I think that would be a problem. I think think that might be a problem for us. This is horse. Yeah, this is not that kind of stream. Oh. Yes. Sometimes I like to roll up my back too. Don't roll too far as to like hit the back of your neck though. Orange says, I only come here for Alice and yoga and interesting thoughts. And I love that. And that's what this is, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. So I welcome you, Orange. Orange is
Life. There's roadblocks.
so true. Life is Roblox. That's an interesting thought. Orange, is that question directed at Refly? Because the Refly does, for sure. Oh, sorry, I thought you said jokes. I was reading that upside down and I thought you said jokes. Refly likes cracking any jokes, but I like cracking my joints. Yes, I do, very much. Actually, it's kind of a problem. Do you guys crack your joints like obsessively? I will crack my fingers. I'll crack my shoulders, my ankles. I recently read an article about cracking your neck and how that could potentially lead to a stroke. So I've stopped doing that. Yeah, I stopped doing that because I don't want to give myself a stroke. Refly said, hold some yoga classes in Roblox. You were cracking your knuckles when you read it. Dang. Oop. Refly, check your balcony. Refly, go check your balcony right now. Refly's like, I don't have a balcony. Refly's like, wait, I don't have a... Orange says, yeah, I was gonna say, go check your balcony anyway. I installed a balcony. Go check the balcony that I installed while you weren't paying attention. So Orange says, I have a friend who makes me cringe every time he cracks his neck. Ooh, yeah. People who do it really loudly, I can understand how that would make you cringe. Yeah, I used to crack my neck all the time. Like actually I would take it and I would crack it like this. You can do a gentle neck stretch if you extend your right arm, you have your left arm and you kind of pull. And I don't mean like pull, I mean like very gently kind of guide it, you know what I mean? One really good pose to do your, to kind of crack your neck in a safe way is always supine twist, which I do this like every stream, but you know, pulling the leg across your back and hearing your spine crack a little bit. That is how you crack your back in a safe way. So I always like doing it. I do this once a day. It's really good. It's a really good posture. I can't turn fully. My plant's in the way, but you get the idea. Go check the $45,000 balcony made with premium cedar wood imported from Norway. Yeah, yep. I also installed a few Chinese pottery, if you'll notice. I treat my Discord mods very well. You'll find out, Reflect. You'll see that soon enough. Sometimes I crack my sternum and that feels nice. Sternum. What? Wait, is that, you mean like this? Is this my sternum? How do you do that? That is, wait, how do you, wait, how does one crack their sternum? I need to know. Interesting. Wait, wait a minute. Are your ribs okay? Orange, are your ribs all right? I have no idea how or which joint, but you feel it kind of in your chest. Oh, that's interesting. You know, actually, no, you're right. No, I feel it. I feel it sometimes in here in my chest. Yeah, it feels good. Especially when you like, you know, like kind of stretch out like this, like that. Yeah, that feels good. That's awesome. Imagine having stands for those pots that rotate the pots slowly over time. That'd be cool, right? This one does rotate, but not on its own. So that's the next best thing that we have. All right, we're at chapter 11. We only have 2 chapters left. 2 chapters left. I think we can do it, perhaps. Oh, it's already 3 p.m. Okay. Yeah, we can do it. Oh, yeah. Did you ever take martial art? Only extra large foam hands. Wait, where's Eclecte? So you guys can continue your karate battle. Your dough is rising nicely. Yay! That's the most important part, Orange, of making pizza. It's basically like making bread. I'm delighted. That's good. If your dough doesn't come together, then you don't have good pizza. So, Orange said it was going to be 3 different kinds. It was going to be, let's see if I remember, pepperoni, a vegetable one, and they all have mushrooms on them. They all have mushrooms. Oh, pepperoni, chicken, and veg. Honey, soy, butternut squash. Oh, yes. Sounds delicious. Do you have like Orange, do you have a pizza oven, or are you gonna just do it in the oven? Do you have like a stone? And yeah, why are we not invited? Exactly. Baby spinach, pineapple, mushroom. Oh my God, you're going all out. Red bell peppers, honey, soy roast, butternut squash, and Italian herbs. Oh, jealous. I'm jealous. That's the veg one. And that's a veg one. I love that. I love how you're not skimping out. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're gonna have veggies, like you gotta add some hardiness to it. You gotta make it hearty as well. Just a regular oven. Well, I hope it turns out really well. Yeah, pizza. Delicious. Okay, chapter 11. Who stole the tarts? The king and the queen of hearts were seated on their throne when they arrived, with a great crowd assembled about them, all sorts of little birds and beasts, as well as the whole pack of cards. The knave was standing before them in chains, with a soldier on each side to guard him, and near the king was the white rabbit, with a trumpet in one hand and a scroll of parchment in the other. In the very middle of the court was a table and a large dish of tarts upon it. They looked so good that it made Alice quite hungry to look at them. I wish they'd get the trial done, she thought, and hand round the refreshments. But there seemed to be no chance of this, so she began looking at everything about her to pass away the time. Come on, Alice, you got this. I know, she can make it. I hope so. Alice had never been in a court of justice before, but she had read about them in books. She was quite pleased to know that she knew the name of nearly everything there. That's the judge, she said to herself, because of his great wig. The judge, by the way, was the king, and as he wore his crown over the wig, he did not look at all comfortable, and it was certainly not becoming. Basically, he's ugly. And that's the jury box, thought Alice, and those 12 creatures, I suppose they are the jurors. She said this last word 2 or 3 times over to herself, being rather proud of it, for she thought, and rightly too, that very few little girls of her age knew the meaning of it all. However, jurymen would have done just as well. The 12 jurors were all writing very busily on slates. "What are they doing?" Alice whispered to the Griffin. "They can't have anything to put down yet, before the trial's begun." "They're putting down their names," the Griffin whispered in reply, "for fear they should forget them before the end of the trial." People are about to lose their sense of self during the trial. Ooh, pear on pizza. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Broccoli on pizza. I guess there's no rules unless maybe you're in Italy. Yeah, exactly. I feel like the only place that's pretentious. Actually, no. That's a lie. Orange, if you go to Chicago or New York, they're also very pretentious about pizza. Not rightfully so, though. I don't really get it. I've had New York pizza before, and it was okay, fine, but they're like, they're so proud of their pizza, you know. You tried a New York City pizza, it was big and floppy. Yes, yep, that's the one. They are pretentious for absolutely no reason, Orange. Oh boy. Deep pan pizza is a no-go. That's the Chicago deep dish pizza. Yeah, I don't like that one either, Refly. I'm not a fan. If it's too doughy, I prefer, my topping to dough ratio to be almost equivalent, or more toppings than dough, not the other way around. Because if it's just, then at that point it's just bread. You know what I mean? It's just like focaccia with pepperonis on top. Hi, Chozo. We're talking about pizza. Yeah, hashtag pizza philosophy. The council has spoken. No other opinions are allowed. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not that picky about pizza, but I do agree with you about the deep dish stuff. I'm not a fan. I'm okay. I'm good. Okay. Stupid things, Alice began in a loud, indignant voice, but she stopped hastily, for the White Rabbit cried out, "Silence in the court!" And the king put on his spectacles and looked anxiously round to make out who was talking. Alice could see, as well as if she were looking over their shoulders, that all the jurors were writing down stupid things on their slates, and she could even make out that one of them didn't know how to spell stupid, and that he had to ask his neighbor to tell him. A nice muddle their slates will be in before the trial's over, thought Alice. One of the jurors had a pencil that squeaked. This, of course, Alice could not stand, and she went round the court and got behind him, and very soon found an opportunity of taking it away. She did it so quickly that the poor little juror could not make out at all what had become of it. So after hunting about for it, he was obliged to write with one finger for the rest of the day, and this was of very little use, and as it left no mark on the slate. Oh my God, no. Chozo, you were doing so well. Dang it. Back to square one. Back to square one. As everything in life, things come in waves, ebbs and flows, am I right? Ebbs and flows. Orange asked, are there any Mormon food traditions or dishes that evolved with that religion? Ooh, I wonder if we should consult my Mormon food tier lists. I've shown you those, right, Orange? I think I have. Honestly, not really. I mean, the whole thing that makes Mormon food is that it kind of has been preserved. The tradition has been preserved over time. Although I will say, like some of the more modern editions, here's the Mormon food tier list. Some of the more modern editions would probably be like the Clownwick soda, obviously, because that involves rainbow sherbet, which is a new thing. Oh, you haven't seen it? Well, here's my Mormon food tier list. We have S tier, A tier, B tier. We made two different ones. So we made one. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to find the right size. There we go. We made one here, and then we made one here. This is the 7-layer dip. I think that I had that B tier. Yeah, it was a B tier. But yeah, a lot of it is very reminiscent of like 1950s type food. Like, you know, canned stuff, Jell-O, a lot of, you know, pre-made stuff. What's that brown filled bun in D? Is it this one? Oh my gosh, literally everybody asks about this. Orange, you are not the first person to ask this. Everybody's like, what's that? This is a Sloppy Joe. This is a Sloppy Joe. And okay, to be fair, Mormons do not take credit for this. It's just, yes, it is, Orange. It is. You should be very afraid. But yeah, it's like mystery meat with barbecue sauce, and it's very messy and it gets all over everything. Yeah, so that's why we have it at D tier. It's a textural nightmare. Swig is definitely our newest addition. That's something that's definitely evolved with Mormon culture because over time people found out they could capitalize on Mormons' love of soda and make cool fancy sodas. So like this one is like a Dr. Pepper with some coconut cream. They love putting coconut cream in there to make it just like an alcoholic drink, except without any alcohol. You know, you gotta have the mixed drinks. So putting that in my body. Yeah, when you think about Orange, when you think about all these different foods, yeah, when you put these into your body, you will not be feeling happy afterwards. You'll be feeling very uncomfy. As you can see, there's not a single vegetable in sight. No vegetables are, the only fruit that you have, or vegetables, is like the canned clementines on the Hawaiian haystacks. And the vegetables is like the peas, which are also canned, by the way. Yup. Oh, there's celery here. That's the ants on a log. That's celery. So look, there's a green thing right there. This is not a vegetable. This is a mint frosting. So anyway, yeah. I've been thinking I need to do another Mormon food tier list. I need to come up with some more foods. I don't know if I've completely captured all of them. I've captured a lot of the iconic ones, but we might have more. We might have more to do. Of course, Orange, I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked because it's perfect. I already had something. I had something prepared. It makes me realize how much U.S. food I don't know about, right? No, literally like I'm sure some of this you look at it and you're like, what even is that? So like this is like funeral potatoes. I had funeral potatoes when I was at the funeral, a literal Mormon funeral on Friday. It's like kind of like mashed potatoes with cheese and sour cream, and then on top there's cornflakes. Yeah, Mormons love cornflakes. Oh, they love them. If you've ever had fry sauce, okay, here's one true Mormon adventure, and I need everybody to know. If you've ever had fry sauce, this is Mormon. Do not let anybody tell you anything else. So if you ever had like fast food, and you have like a fry sauce, it's like a mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise, and then sometimes other spices. Fry sauce, yeah. So no, not fried. Fry sauce, yeah. It's sauce for the fries. That is a Mormon invention. We take credit for that. Yeah. It's good. It's good. You can make a basic version of it if you just mix like half mayonnaise, half ketchup. And it's good. I like it. Fry sauce is what kids do over here in Belgium. Okay, here's an interesting thing, Refly. Is it possible that because Belgians invented fries, right? Right? I think so, right? We call them French fries, but they were invented by Belgium. So, did Belgians invent? Okay, you know what? We're fact checking this. But Mormons claim that they invented fry sauce. Okay. Yeah. Look at this. Look. Don Carlos Edwards. Used the pink sauce at the first Arctic Circle restaurant in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's literally my city. Yeah, here she is. Toby, come here. Yeah, good girl. Hi, sweetie. You're so special. I love you. French comes from to French. And that's where the miscommunication happens. Some people think that it comes from France, and that is not true. How dare they get it wrong, right, Refly? Gotta make sure we get this stuff right. People's national pride is on the line, right? Okay. Herald, read the accusation, said the king. On this, the white rabbit blew 3 blasts on the trumpet, and then unrolled the parchment scroll and read as follows. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away. Consider your verdict, the king said to the jury. Not yet, the rabbit hastily interrupted. There's a great deal to come before that. Call the first witness, said the king, and the white rabbit blew 3 blasts on the trumpet and called out, First witness. The first witness was the Hatter. He came in with a teacup in one hand and a piece of bread and butter in the other. I beg your pardon, your majesty, he began, for bringing these in, but I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was sent for. You ought to have finished, said the king. When did you begin? The Hatter looked at the March Hare, who had followed him into the court arm in arm with the Dormouse. 14th of March, I think it was, he said. 15th, said the March Hare. 16th, said the Dormouse. Write that down, the king said to the jury, and the jury eagerly wrote down all 3 dates on their slates and then added them up to reduce the answer to shillings and pence. Take off your hat, the king said to the Hatter. It isn't mine, said the Hatter. Stolen, the king exclaimed, turning to the jury, who instantly made a memorandum of the fact. I keep them to sell, the Hatter added as an explanation. I've none of my own. I'm a Hatter. Here the queen put on her spectacles and began staring at the Hatter, who turned pale and fidgeted. Give me your evidence, said the king, and don't be nervous, or I'll have you executed on the spot. This did not seem to encourage the witness at all. He kept shifting from one foot to the other, looking uneasily at the queen, and in his confusion he bit a large piece out of his teacup instead of the bread and butter. Just at this moment, Alice felt a very curious sensation, which puzzled her a good deal until she made out what it was. She was beginning to grow larger again, and she thought at first she would get up and leave the court, but on second thought she decided to remain, where she was as long as there was room for her. Dates on their slates. I wish you wouldn't squeeze so, said the Dormouse, who was sitting next to her. I can hardly breathe. I can't help it, said Alice very meekly. I'm growing. You've no right to grow here, said the Dormouse. Don't talk nonsense, said Alice more boldly. You know you're growing too. Yes, but I grow at a reasonable pace, said the Dormouse, not in that ridiculous fashion. And he got up very sulkily and crossed over to the other side of the court. All this time the Queen had never left off staring at the Hatter, and just as the Dormouse crossed the court, she said to one of her officers of the court, Bring me the list of the singers in that last concert, on which the wretched Hatter trembled so, and he shook both his shoes off. Give me your evidence, the king repeated angrily, or I'll have you executed, whether you're nervous or not. I'm a poor man, your majesty, the Hatter began in a trembling voice, and I hadn't begun my tea, not above a week or so, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea... The twinkling of the what? Said the king. It began with the tea, the Hatter replied. Of course twinkling begins with a T, said the king sharply. Do you take me for a dunce? Go on. I'm a poor man, the Hatter went on, and most things twinkled after that. Only the March Hare said. I didn't, said the March Hare, interrupted in a great hurry. You did, said the Hatter. I deny it, said the March Hare. He denies it, said the king. Leave out that part. Well, at any rate, the Dormouse said. The Hatter went on. Well, at any rate, the Dormouse said, the Hatter went on, looking anxiously round to see if he would deny it too. But the Dormouse denied nothing, being fast asleep. After that, continued the Hatter, I cut some more bread and butter. But what did the Dormouse say? One of the jury asked. That I can't remember, said the Hatter. You must remember, remarked the king, or I'll have you executed. The miserable Hatter dropped his teacup and bread and butter and went down on one knee. I'm a poor man, your majesty, he began. You're a very poor speaker, said the king. Here one of the guinea pigs cheered and was immediately suppressed by the officers of the court. And it is a rather hard word. I will just explain to you how it was done. They had a large canvas bag which tied up at the mouth as strings. Into this they slipped the guinea pig head first and then sat upon it. I'm glad I've seen that done, thought Alice. I've so often read in newspapers at the end of trials there was some attempt at applause, which was immediately suppressed by the officers of the court. I never knew what it meant until now. If that's all you know about it, you may stand down, continued the king. I can't go no lower, said the Hatter. I'm on the floor as it is. Then you may sit down, the king replied. Here the other guinea pig cheered and was suppressed. Come, that finished the guinea pigs, thought Alice. Now we shall get on better. I'd rather finish my tea, said the Hatter, with an anxious look at the queen, who was reading the list of singers. You may go, said the king, and the Hatter hurriedly left the court, without even waiting to put his shoes on. And just take his head off outside, the queen added to one of the officers, but the Hatter was out of sight before the officer could get to the door. Call the next witness, said the king. The next witness was the Duchess's cook. She carried the pepper box in her hand, and Alice guessed who it was, even before she got to the court, by the way the people near the door began sneezing all at once. Give your evidence, said the king. Shan't, said the cook. The king looked anxiously at the White Rabbit, who said in a low voice, Your Majesty must cross-examine this witness. Well, if I must, I must, the king said, with a melancholy air, and after folding his arms and frowning at the cook till his eyes were nearly out of sight, he said in a deep voice, What are tarts made of? Pepper, mostly, said the cook. Treacle, said a sleepy voice behind her. Collar that dormouse, the queen shrieked out. Behead that dormouse. Turn that dormouse out of court. Suppress him. Pinch him. Off with his whiskers. For some minutes, the whole court was in confusion, getting the dormouse turned out, and by the time they had settled down again, the cook had disappeared. Never mind, said the king with an air of great relief. Call the next witness. And he added in an undertone to the queen. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine the next witness. It quite makes my forehead ache. Alice watched the White Rabbit as he fumbled over the list, feeling very curious to see what the next witness would be like. For they haven't got much evidence yet, she said to herself. Imagine her surprise when the White Rabbit read out, at the top of his shrill little voice, the name Alice. Okay, chapter 12, Alice's evidence. Okay, my tablet is literally about to die, so I'm just going to continue reading. It's not too long. Uh-oh, I know, right? It's like, wait, what has even happened so far? What are we doing? Who's on trial? What are we trying them for? I don't know. Alice probably has no idea. Okay, chapter 12, Alice's evidence. And we're gonna hope that our tablet doesn't turn off. Ooh, do you guys see this rainbow? Wait, look. There's a rainbow. Oh my God, am I magical? Wow, am I amazing? I'm just kidding. That's cool though. That's a cool camera effect. I've summoned the rainbow. Wow. I've got like an aura around me. I've had people tell me I've had an aura before and I never knew what they meant. But now I know. Delightful. We are summoning an aura. Very nice. Okay. Auras. The last yoga move was actually an ancient spell. You guys, magic is real. You guys, magic is real. You better believe it. If there's one thing I want to teach you from this stream, is that magic is real. Okay. Here, cried Alice, quite forgetting in the flurry of the moment how large she had grown in the last few minutes. And she jumped up in such a hurry that she tipped over the jury box with the edge of her skirt, upsetting all the jurymen onto the heads of the crowd below. And there they lay sprawling about, reminding her very much of a globe of goldfish she had accidentally upset the week before. Oh, I beg your pardon, she exclaimed in a tone of great dismay, and began picking them up again as quickly as she could, for the accident of the goldfish kept running in her head, and she had a vague sort of idea that they must be collected at once and put back into the jury box, or they would die. The trial cannot proceed, said the king in a very grave voice, until all the jurymen are back in their proper places. All, he repeated with great emphasis, looking hard at Alice as he said so. Alice looked at the jury box and saw that in her haste, she had put the lizard in head downwards, and the poor thing was waving its tail about in a melancholy way, being quite unable to move. She soon got it out again and put it right. Not that it signifies much, she said to herself. I should think it would be quite as much use in the trial one way up as the other. Oh yes, okay. Good luck, Orange, with the rest of your pizza prep. I hope you also have a relaxing day. You have a whole day ahead of you, but yeah. Thank you. Thanks for being here. My camera is just getting progressively pinker and pinker. I'm not adjusting. I'm leaving it as it is. We've got like a filter on. We've got a filter on right now. I'm gonna adjust so my head is right in the middle of the rainbow. Okay. What do you know about this business? The king said to Alice. Nothing, said Alice. Nothing whatsoever? Persisted the king. Nothing whatsoever, said Alice. That's very important, the king said, turning to the jury. They were just beginning to write this down on their slates when the White Rabbit interrupted. Unimportant, your majesty means, of course, he said in a very respectful tone, but frowning and making faces at him as he spoke. Unimportant, of course, I meant, the king hastily said, and went on to himself with an undertone. Important, unimportant, unimportant, important. As if he were trying which word sounded best. Some of the jury wrote down important, and some unimportant. Alice could see this as she was near enough to look over the slates, but it doesn't matter a bit, she thought to herself. At this moment, the king, who had been for some time busily writing in his notebook, cackled out, "Silence," and read out from his book. Rule 42, all persons more than a mile high to leave the court. Everybody looked at Alice. I'm not a mile high, said Alice. You are, said the king. Nearly 2 miles high, added the queen. Well, I shan't go at any rate, said Alice. Besides, that's not a regular rule. You invented it just now. It's the oldest rule in the book, said the king. Then it ought to be number 1, said Alice. The king turned pale and shut his notebook hastily. Consider your verdict, he said to the jury in a low, trembling voice. There's more evidence to come yet, please your majesty, said the white rabbit, jumping up in a great hurry. This paper has just been picked up. What's in it? Said the queen. I haven't opened it yet, said the white rabbit, but it seems to be a letter, written by the prisoner to somebody. It must have been that, said the king, unless it was written to nobody, which isn't usual, you know. Who is it directed to? Said one of the jurymen. It isn't directed at all, said the white rabbit. In fact, there's nothing written on the outside. He unfolded the paper as he spoke and added, It isn't a letter after all, it's a set of verses. Oh boy, we have Hello, QB. Hello, welcome. Welcome. We have summoned a rainbow for today's stream, if you noticed. We're performing magic. We're finishing our Alice in Wonderland stream. It's so nice to see you, my friend. How you doing? You guys should go check out QB's streams. He's cool. Sorry I haven't been able to make it. I have a lot of things going on these days. But I will make it soon, sometime soon. Yeah, I always love your energy. You're always so nice to me. And that's something I pay attention to. Okay. He must have imitated somebody else's hand, said the king. The jury all brightened up again. Please, your majesty, said the knave. I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the end. If you didn't sign it, said the king, that only makes the matter worse. You must have meant some mischief, otherwise you wouldn't have signed your name like an honest man. Oh, you would have, sorry. That proves his guilt, said the queen. It proves nothing of the sort, said Alice. Why, you don't even know what they're about. Read them, said the king. The white rabbit put on his spectacles. Where shall I begin, please, your majesty? He asked. Begin at the beginning, the king said gravely, and go on until you come to the end. Then stop. Wow, so descriptive. They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her 1, they gave him 2. You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. If I or she should chance to be involved in this affair, he trusts to you to set them free exactly as you were. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it. Don't let him know she liked them best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest, between yourself and me. That's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet, said the king, rubbing his hands. I'm like, what? Okay, sure. That's important. QB said, you've been going through some stuff myself. I haven't been streaming as much. I appreciate it. You're too kind. I'm sorry you're going through some stuff these days. The only thing I can say to that is that you're not alone. Yeah, you're never alone. Life is hard. Oh shit, an ad. Okay, let me stop the ads. Snooze the ads. It doesn't feel like a good time to... Imagine if like the ads start running. Bruh. Yeah. Personally, I had a really difficult weekend this weekend. Life is hard. It is. I don't know what to tell you. But sometimes I find that it helps open up possibilities for you to experience great joy as well. I had a really hard weekend this weekend, but it was cool to see the contrast because I did suffer a lot, but then the day after I was able to experience really intense joy, and I credit that joy with the fact that it contrasted so much, and because I was in a very vulnerable emotional state. So I hope good things will come to you, my friend. Hoping that I'm manifesting it. Look, the rainbow is growing and it's spreading outside of me. So let this rainbow come and enter your life and, give you what you desire. Life is hard. Laughs. Okay, we're almost done. We're at 5%, you guys. If you're wondering why I'm reading so fast, that's why. It's because it's going to die. Just like everything in life. If there's no meaning in it, said the king, that saves a world of trouble, and we need to try to find any. And yet I don't know, he went on, spreading out the verses on his knee and looking at them with one eye. I seem to see some meaning in them, after all. The knave shook his head sadly. Do I look like it, he said, which he certainly did not, meaning, I have no idea what's going on, dude. Which he certainly did not, being made entirely of cardboard. All right so far, said the king, and he went on muttering over the verses to himself. We know it to be true. That's the jury, of course. I gave her one, they gave him two. Why, they must be what they did. That must be what he did with the tarts, But it goes on, they all return from him to you, said Alice. Why, there they are, said the king triumphantly, pointing to the tarts on the table. Nothing can be clearer than that. Then again, before she had this fit. You never had fits, my dear, I think, he said to the queen. Never, said the queen furiously, throwing an inkstand at the lizard as she spoke. Yeah, of course, never. Then the words don't fit you, said the king, looking round the court with a smile. There was a dead silence. It's a pun, the king added in an offended tone, and everybody laughed. Let the jury consider their verdict, the king said, for about the 20th time that day. No, said the queen. Sentence first, verdict afterwards. Stuff and nonsense, said Alice loudly. The idea of having a sentence first. Hold your tongue, said the queen, turning purple. Off with her head. I won't, said Alice. Off with her head, the queen shouted at the top of her voice. Nobody moved. Who cares for you, said Alice. She had grown to her full size by this time. You're nothing but a pack of cards. At this, the whole pack rose up into the air and came flying down upon her. She gave a little scream, half of fright and half of anger, and tried to beat them off, and found herself lying on the bank with her head in the lap of her sister, who was gently brushing away some dead leaves that had fluttered down from the trees upon her face. Wake up, Alice dear, said her sister. Why, what a long sleep you've had. Oh, I've had such a curious dream, said Alice as she told her sister, as well as she could remember them, all these strange adventures of hers that you could have just been reading about. And when she had finished, her sister kissed her and said, It was a curious dream, dear, certainly. But now run into your tea, it's getting late. So Alice got up and ran off, thinking while she ran, as well as she might, what a wonderful dream it had been. Oh yes, it's definitely a dream. That was very dreamlike. But her sister sat still just as she left her, leaning on her head on her hand, watching the setting sun, and thinking of little Alice and all her wonderful adventures, till she too began dreaming after a fashion, and this was her dream. First she dreamed of little Alice herself, and once again the tiny hands were clasped upon her knee, and the bright, eager eyes were looking up into hers. She could hear the very tones of her voice, and see that queer little toss of her head to keep back the wandering hair that would always get into her eyes. And still, as she listened, or seemed to listen, the whole place around her became alive with the strange creatures of her little sister's dream. The long grass rustled at her feet as the white rabbit hurried by. The frightened mouse slashed his way through the neighboring pool. She could hear the rattle of the teacups as the March Hare and his friends shared their never-ending meal, and the shrill voice of the queen ordering her unfortunate guest to execution. Once more the pig baby was sneezing on the Duchess's knee, while plates and dishes crashed about it. Once more the shriek of the griffin, the squeaking of the lizard's slate pencil, and the choking of the suppressed guinea pigs filled the air, mixed up with the distant sobs of the miserable mock turtle. So she sat on with closed eyes, and half believed herself in Wonderland, though she knew that she had but to open them again, and all would change to dull reality. The grass would only be rustling in the wind, and the pool rippling to the waving of the reeds. The rattling teacups would change to tinkling sheep bells, and the queen's shrill cries to the voice of the shepherd boy, and the sneeze of the baby, the shriek of the griffin, and the other queer noises would change, she knew, to the confused clamor of the busy farmyard, while the lowing of the cattle in the distance would take the place of the mock turtle's heavy sobs. Lastly, she pictured to herself how this same sister of hers would, in the aftertime, be herself a grown woman, and how she would keep, through all her riper years, the simple and loving heart of her childhood, and how she would gather about her other little children, and make their eyes bright and eager with many a strange tale, perhaps even with the dream of Wonderland of long ago, and how she would feel with all their simple sorrows, and find a pleasure in all their simple joys, remembering her own child life and the happy summer days. Oh, yay! Okay, we did it. We finished. Hooray! Oh no, everybody's an ad void. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone who's trapped in the ad void. You didn't get to hear the rest of the... I couldn't snooze the ads. You can only snooze them 3 times. I used all my snoozes. Of course, you can't hear me, so it doesn't really matter. But I hope that... unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go soon. We're going to have to wrap up. But let me find someone to run. And that's really terrible that I'm... Well, we'll let everybody come back from the ads first before we continue. Oh, dear. Let me see if there's anybody to raid. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I have anybody today. But I'm sorry. Wait, are you in the ad void, Refly? Can you hear me right now? Are you there? Hello? Woo. Woo. You were for 20 seconds until... I love that. Wait, so it doesn't give you 3 minutes of ads? Oh, that's great. That's weird, though. Yeah. Oh, because you have an ad blocker, perhaps? Maybe that's why. I won't tell. Don't worry, I won't tell him. Any final yoga poses for today? Let me think. I've done most of the yoga poses I like. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for hanging out today. It was fun. And we did it. We made it through the entire book. And I like it. Honestly, I do. Very dreamlike. And I like how at the ending, if you guys missed it, it's basically talking about how Alice's sister imagined herself in Wonderland, and then she imagined what Alice would be like as an adult, and it seems like Alice will make a pretty great adult, to be honest, because she'll probably maintain her sense of wonder. And if there's anything to take away from this, is that do not become jaded. Do not become jaded by life. That's the worst thing you can do. Keep your sense of wonder. Keep your sense of magic and curiosity. Life is short, right? There's so much to explore, and you can choose either to be jaded and skeptical, or you can choose to...
There's roadblocks.
Yes, exactly. Life is Roblox. You can choose. Choose what perspective you want to have. Personally, I like to choose one perspective of just living life. I mean, look over here at my wonderful quote that I have. The only purpose of life is to be alive. That's it. Just live. Live all of it. All the highs and all the lows. Enjoy it all. That's what you can do. It might not always be easy, but it's something. Experiencing is always better than not experiencing, in my experience. Okay, well, anyway, thank you guys. I think I'll be ending stream today. I mean, right now, so bye. I might be playing the mushroom game tomorrow. We'll see, but thank you. Have a good night. Have a good day. And yes, a very merry on Tuesday to you. Oh, thank you, QB. Bye. Bye, QB. Bye, Refly. See you.